Alright, guys. Got some basic updates you may or may not have already heard about. So, first of all, we've got the Donald Trump approval rating, which is extremely dropping and has been for several days now. So, let me swap over here. President Donald Trump's approval ratings are slipping in surveys conducted by or on behalf of Republican aligned organizations. Two recent GOP friendly polls show Trump with a negative net approval rating, while one Republican pollster reports the president's lowest net score of his second term. Why it matters. The poll suggests that some of Trump's second term policies, including cost cutting measures and tariff plans, are proving unpopular with voters. Keep in mind, this is polls that were conducted uh, through Republican means. These aren't like propaganda pieces. A TIPP Insights poll conducted for the League of American Workers released Sunday showed that 50% of registered voters disapprove of the job Trump is doing as president, compared with 43% who approve. This gives the Republican a net approval rating of minus 7 points. The poll was conducted April 7th through the 9th among 1,570 registered voters, and the results have a margin of error of plus or minus 2.5 percentage points. In a previous TIPP League of American Workers poll conducted in March, Trump had a net approval rating of minus 5 points, 48% disapprove, 43% approve. The League of American Workers says it advocates for workers instead of labor unions, which it claims have been totally captured by the Democrat Party and a cringe radical agenda. Another survey conducted by the Republican polling group RMG Research for the Neapolitan News Service shows Trump with a net approval rating of plus 1 point, 49% approve, 48% disapprove. This is the president's lowest net score in polling by Neapolitan News and RMG Research this year, and down from the plus 12 score he recorded in mid February, 55% approve, 43% disapprove. The most recent survey was conducted April 2nd through the 10th among 3,000 registered voters. The margin of error is plus or minus 1.8 percentage points. RMG Research was founded by Republican pollster Scott Rasmussen, who also established the polling company Rasmussen Reports. Rasmussen Reports, which his eponymous founder left in 2013, has long been criticized for bias, with results often perceived as leaning toward Republican candidates. Elsewhere, a daily Rasmussen Reports tracking poll also shows Trump's approval rating sliding. On Friday, the tracker showed that 50% of likely voters disapprove of Trump's job performance, while 48% approve. While this marks a slight increase from the 47% approval recorded Thursday, it remains below the 50% approval baseline Trump previously maintained through his second term, hitting 54% in mid February. Rasmussen also reports that a majority of Americans, 52%, disapprove of Trump's tariff plans compared with 43% who approve. That survey of 1,096 likely voters was conducted April 7th through the 9th and has a margin of error of plus or minus 3 percentage points. The Rasmussen Daily Tracking Poll surveys 300 likely voters per night and reports results based on a 5 daily rolling average. The margin of sampling error for the full sample of 1,500 likely voters is plus or minus 2.5 percentage points. Obviously, this Rasmussen whatever deal is a propaganda job, and no one should take it seriously. It's fake. To any actual legitimate polling service, it's still maintained that Donald Trump is the only president ever to never break the 50% approval rating marker. He is the shittiest president by those standards ever. He's the worst president we've ever had. what people are saying. Thomas Gift, an associate professor of political science and director of the Center on U.S. Politics at University College London, previously told Newsweek Trump hasn't earned himself many supporters with his handling of the tariff situation. It's not only the policy that seems to irk voters, but also the apparent lack of strategy, the impulsive decision making, and the inconsistent messaging from the White House. Trump has long built his brand on being a master dealmaker and a savvy businessman. However, the last several days have dealt a serious blow to that image. It's amazing to me that people fell for this stupid bullshit in the first place. Like, how could even close to half of fucking the United States, even early on, before people are starting to realize that he's really a fucking moron? Like, how? How can you believe that he's a savvy businessman? He's bankrupted 4 fucking businesses, including one that's designed to always win, a casino. Like, he's the stupidest motherfucker we've ever had in office. He's incompetent. He doesn't have a fucking clue what he's doing. Every single move he makes shows that he's a fucking moron. The only people left who support him are cult members. What happens next? It remains to be seen whether Trump's approval rating will shift in the coming weeks, especially as the president has granted exclusions from major tariffs on smartphones, computers, and other electronics imported largely from China. He also bumped up, he got rid of pretty much, temporarily got rid of all tariffs except for like 150% to China, which also matched it. So it created a trade war, and that means everyone fucking loses. What an idiot. So he a lot of experts told us early on this whole tariff shit is stupid. It's going to hurt everyday American consumers. And that's what we've seen so far. It's exactly what they said was going to happen. And Trump, being a fucking idiot, stuck with it. And now he realizes how unpopular it's making him and how even Republicans are turning on him. So now he started backing down. This is like a fucking 3-year-old child in fucking office. He needs to be taken out. And it seems like it finally, a majority of Americans are on board with how fucking retarded he is and how dangerous he is. You need a person in office who's capable of fucking strategic planning. Someone who has a brain, who understands the fucking possible downfalls of their actions. Trump is a narcissist. He's an idiot. He has no fucking clue what he's doing, and he doesn't listen to anyone with a brain. He just fucking ignores everything. Recently, he illegally deported a fucking American citizen, all because he fucking participated in a protest against the illegal fucking genocide of Palestine. And that's the only reason he was fucking deported. The Supreme Court ruled, because he was, at the time, he was still in the air, that they needed to turn that fucking plane around immediately because it's illegal as fuck. Trump completely just ignored it and made up some bullshit, said that it's like too far gone. And then once they reached the destination, he just fucking pulled favors with the fucking leader of the country and made him say that there's nothing they could do, that now he's just a prisoner. Like, this motherfucker needs to be taken out of office right now. So on top of all of this, and how Americans are finally realizing that they were fucking idiots for voting for this dumb fuck, which some of us have told you early on how fucking bad of an idea it would be, and how this would not be the same as his first term. Because a lot of people were saying, we already know what a Trump term would look like. It'll be the same as the first, and the whole world didn't burn down, blah, blah, blah. Which, by the way, he only did negative shit. He didn't help everyday Americans like idiots claim. It seems like most MAGA supporters don't know anything about politics, don't have any idea what Trump did in his first term. He cut taxes for the rich and he hurt everyone else. These are facts. This isn't some shit I just made up to fucking pull propaganda or something. These are facts. But you live in, well, at least MAGA people, you live in an alternate reality where he can do no wrong and he loves people and he loves America. It's sad at this point. Luckily, your numbers are dwindling. But on top of this, we just recently had a MAGA fucking idiot cult member fucking go crazy, jump over the fence at the estate of fucking Governor Josh Shapiro of Pennsylvania, and he set his house on fire while he and his family were asleep in it. Luckily, they were able to get him and his family out, but most of his home is gone, is completely fucking destroyed. This dude has been apprehended, and he's such a fucking moron, like all MAGA supporters. He basically just admitted everything, told him that like he knew that he was there, he knew that he was asleep, which establishes intent, shows that he attempted basically homicide, and yeah, the list goes on. All of them are fucking idiots. And they're fucking insane. They need to all be put in fucking internment camps at this point. And Trump needs to be taken out of office. But in any case, that is it for this morning or this evening. I don't even know what fucking time of the day it is. I'm half asleep. Maybe. So, with the stupidity of Americans in general, and I hate to say this, but it's just true, this could stick. I hope it sticks, and people just learn more and more how much of a fucking moron and how dangerous he is going forward. How he's a fascist, which is, at this point, like, no one should even shudder or go like, oh, you're exaggerating when I say that. He is a fucking fascist. He's ignoring the fucking rule of law. He has persecuted specific, like, the Associated Press, which is about as unbiased as it gets, all because they wouldn't go with his stupid Gulf of America bullshit, which is designed as a distraction to get fucking MAGA supporters to be excited about something stupid, so they won't fucking acknowledge the actual serious issues that Trump is doing nothing about. And it works on them. They're stupid. That's why Trump said that if he ever runs for president in the past, he will run Republican because those fucking idiots will believe anything. And he's right. They'll fucking believe anything. They're retards. And that's why in this country, we need to set up some sort of fucking system where you have to pass a sort of assessment in order to vote. You don't need to have like a really high IQ or something. That would slip into some dangerous fucking eugenic type territory. But you do need to have some fucking basic knowledge of politics. I think that would solve so many problems. And it would basically ensure that people like Donald Trump would never be elected again. Because there are no people who know anything about politics that aren't fucking wealthy pieces of shit that like are corrupt and want to fuck over the everyday American that support Donald Trump. There's either corrupt, rich pieces of shit, or there's people who have absolutely no fucking clue about politics and vote against their own interests. And that is basically it's the only simple solution to that problem. Education's getting worse by design. Trump is doing everything he can to destroy the Department of Education, cut funding, which has already been cut in recent years more and more and more. Because, for one, it helps fund tax cuts for the wealthy, which is all he fucking cares about. It's what he's been doing. That's the whole idea behind Doge. It's not to save you money. It's not to fucking cut costs that are waste, fraud, and abuse, which they've had absolutely no evidence for at all. It's just so he can make good on his promises to the wealthy to cut their taxes like he did in his first term. He's had issues being able to fund the promises. So he's gutting pretty much every national good that we have to destroy the fucking livelihood of working class Americans and the middle class in favor of the 1%. It's very fucking simple, and everything he's done proves it. Thank you for your time.